Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What they say, good morning, everybody. I got started late this morning because we're having power surges here. You know, with all of the ice on the trees and the ice melting, the ice makes the trees branches heavy. They start breaking. And we've had already about 8 power surges, eight power outages, little mini outages this morning already. So it's been bad this morning. So good morning to everybody. Please be safe if you have to go out there. It's still not safe out there in any capacity because of the ice. The ice is what turns it from being okay. You said you haven't had breakfast yet? Oh yeah, look. You thought that was smoker's lung? No, that's Trump's nussy, Barry Gordy. That's Trump nussy. He looks like most conservative men and women look. That's why they identify with Trump. Most conservative men, women and men look like Trump close up in HD. Skin look all worn, like an old Coach bag. That's how it looks, Barry. Like most conservative women and men all across America. Thank you, Maud. I saw David. David's comment was hidden, claiming he was going to give people money. It's always the brokies online talking about they're going to give people money. Can I give y'all a hint? If somebody online says they're going to give you all this money, know they're a scammer. Rich people are selfish. They don't give up money like that. A rich person would never be online going, hey, who needs money? I'll give money to anybody who needs. Rich people don't do that shit. You understand? They don't do that. They're selfish. They don't do that. Poor people do. Poor people cosplaying as rich people pretend, if I had money, I'd do this. Proving you ain't got no money because you trying to give it away. Rich people don't give away money. They make investments, but they don't give away money. They don't give away money. So that's one of the reasons, again, I'm on here later this morning. We're having power surges. So this morning after this live, I'm not going to do a Patreon live because my internet is not stable, and where I live out in bumfuck, I need internet. I need high-speed internet. You know, I bought in a rural area when it was cheap to buy, long before COVID, like before COVID happened. That's when I did that. So just FYI. But good morning, everybody. Now, y'all saw the big news this morning, right? Oh, let me get I'm going to my laptop, right? Because you saw the big news this morning, right? About about Bovino. Now, can we talk this morning and speculate on why he's getting sacrificed over Kristi Noem, right? So the reports are that Bovino is out. Those are the reports. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so the reports are, I don't know how true and real that is. Not images. Hold on, no. They say this. He's expected to leave Minneapolis, and Trump is going to send Homan to the state. It's not going to do anything. Now the media is trying to say he lost his job. The White House did not say that Bovino was fired. They have not said that. I don't know where the media is getting that shit from, because they never said he was fired. They said he's leaving Minneapolis. So it's all about optics, right? You say he's being retired. I don't even see it say he's being retired. They just say, the media says his future is in doubt. But understand, there's been no change in the immigration policy. Bovino has done exactly what Trump asked him to do. I said this morning to myself, I said out loud, I said, you know what? Bovino and Kristi Noem are causing unnecessary press for Trump when it comes to immigration. Quiet as kept. Kristi Noem needs to be fired. She's the biggest problem in all of it. But that's just my opinion, because she's trying to compete with the men that Trump has put in place. So she trying to show she extra tough. You catch it? And ain't nothing worse than a woman trying to show she's tougher than men. She gonna do a lot of unnecessary shit that she don't need to do, trying to show that she's tough. They needed to sacrifice somebody, but my question is, why not sacrifice Kristi Noem and put a man in her place? That's odd to me. And that makes me go, there's another reason why Bovino is being pushed out, but it ain't because of the shit happening in Minnesota. It has nothing to do with that. In my opinion, I don't think it's that. We'll find out later, but we ain't gonna find out today why he's really leaving, but it ain't that. 9 times out of 10, either he disagrees with Kristi Noem on something, and the administration is still hardcore behind Kristi Noem. They say she's following orders, but she gets to choose how she implements on that. You understand? Because why choose her when you can get anybody to do it? She's doing it. Trust me. Don't think for 1 second that Kristi Noem is just doing what she's told. She's also doing what she wants to too, inside of doing what she's told. I just find it odd that Bovino was the first one. That's what I find it odd, especially because this hardcore policy is brought to you by Corey Lewandowski and Stephen Miller. They're the people behind the policy. I put another piece in there because it had gone out. Yeah, you weren't up here, it had gone out. I opened up the bottom. You said, wow, oh, I don't have any coffee, beloved. That's tea. So just so y'all know, so that's why it strikes me as odd. Now, I saw another story and I wonder if Bovino being reassigned or whatever, honestly, it's really a distraction because remember, y'all still ain't got them Epstein files. You still ain't got the Epstein files. Is the optics to keep conservative women on board? No, it's not that. Conservative women don't give a fuck about Kristi Noem. Conservative women, they lick the boots of conservative men. Even conservative women don't respect conservative women. You got to remember, their entire party is all about misogyny. So no, they don't really listen to conservative women more so than they listen to conservative men, right? Because I say, if a conservative woman is talking really loud, then she's not conservative, right? She's a liberal, right? Wouldn't make sense. So that's why I say, nah, it's not that. It's not that. They always listen to the men more than they listen to the women. It's just that for right now, the administration might be putting Bovino as the face of everything that's happening in Minnesota, when in fact, Kristi Noem is orchestrating it. Now, I wonder if it's related to something I saw yesterday. For those of you who are doing travel on airplanes, I'm seeing multiple people report across different airports in different states how they've been approached by CBP at the airport, asked to show their ID again after they've gone through customs, after even American citizens being stopped, being taken to rooms inside the airport, questioned again about their travel. Not the neck is trying to steal appointments. Question again about their travel, their intentions, why they do this and why they do this, that, and the other. So I wonder if some of it's related to that. ICE and Customs and Border Protection are now the largest police force that America has. And they're designed to police you. You have a friend that has decided to self-deport back to the Caribbeans. Damn. That's a shame. America's going to lose a lot of talent and a lot of good people because of racism. Racism is why people are leaving. People act like self-deport is a flex. That shit ain't no flex for America. What it means is your country is trash. Hey, Sanopa. Hey, beautiful. It means your country is trash. That's what it means. So people would rather leave and go back to their respective countries that they come from because they know those countries and they can navigate through that. Hey, beautiful. Hey, Carl, good morning to you. So that's a big part of this. A big part of this is people are self-deporting. Now, understand, I feel like the administration is going to airports. They're kicking in doors. You know why? They can't meet their quota. They can't meet the quotas that they set. You know why? Because the lies that they sold, that it was all of these illegals that had all these criminal records running all over. No, that was a smaller segment of folks. Nowhere near the amount of people that Trump really wants to deport. So what does he have to do? He has to snatch everybody. That's the only way. I'm warm, but I'm still a little nippy. I'm warm, but I'm still a little nippy. Like the fireplace is moving, but it's still a little nip time. Hold on, I want to put a little extra cover on Russ. Hold on. Russ got up to move, y'all. It's okay, Rusty. I'm just giving you some cover. Russ got up to move, y'all, and I just want to put a little cover on him because we haven't gotten it warm enough in here yet. Not quite yet. Not quite yet, darling. Not quite yet. Almost. But yeah, I feel like where we are in America, right? And before we wrap up the live, I'm going to show y'all that chocolate chip walnut cookie that I baked yesterday, the sandwiches. They are divine. I ate one, and we're going to talk about it towards the end. I ate one last night. My God. I slept. That's why I didn't keep the fire going the way I needed to. Because I slept like what they say, baby bird. I was sleeping so good. Yep, we are suffering because he's a PDF. You know what's interesting? So I was on Facebook this morning, and this guy I know, I'm about to say an oxymoron. He's a black MAGA, right? So I like to remind him of the party that he's a part of consistently by reminding him that he's a blackie, a darkie, right? And so this morning, he had put up this thing asking about the Epstein files. So I had said, you know, I went in there and I said, no, nobody cares about the Epstein files because Republicans don't care about PDFs. So a guy comes back in and says, what about Democratic PDFs? I said, pay attention, beloved. We're talking about Republican PDFs. So I'm waiting for him to come back because they always come back. And then that's when I'll tell them, listen, I want them to lock up the Democratic PDFs. My question is, why don't y'all want Trump to release these files? If he's innocent and those files would exonerate him, why doesn't he release them? Unredacted. Now I want to tell y'all something else. Y'all also going to see some conservatives in Congress, and it's fake and it's phony and it's performance politics, and I need y'all to pay attention to the shit. Hey, Sharon, I need y'all to pay attention to the shit. Oh, because the reason why you didn't see me on live this morning, Hallie, because I didn't get on to a few moments ago. We're having power outages here. So we're having power outages here, and that's one of the reasons why. So I was waiting about that. And if it happens again and I go away, that's why, because I had another outage. That's the only reason why I'm not doing a Patreon live this morning, is because we're having our power is trying to act like Texas, but not quite like Texas, because as soon as it shuts off, it comes right back on. So the backups happen, but it still takes everything offline for a while. No, TikTok was suppressing all of us a couple days ago. I know I wasn't the only one that put up videos and was like, wait a minute, how do I still have 0 views? I even get views from passive people that don't even follow me. So all of us, I'm pretty sure everybody was like, wait a minute. So some of my content I just held on to. I said, I'm not putting that shit up on TikTok. I put it up on other platforms, but I didn't put it on TikTok. Yeah, it was the new terms of service, but it wasn't just that. TikTok also had an outage. They had an outage. It just took them a long time to be honest about the fact that they had an outage, like they always are. Think about it. Long before they even changed ownership, TikTok didn't like to say when they had an outage. They didn't like to say that. Because think about it. Facebook don't have many outages. Instagram don't have many outages. TikTok never liked to say that it had outages. I felt like it was being cyber attacked. You ain't never lied. White House is paying weekend at Bernie's. I saw this picture too. Hold on. Since ICE don't want you taking pictures and videotaping and using whistles, who knew that it was so scary? The big old government would be so afraid of people using whistles and videotaping them and taking pictures. Yeah, Abby, as somebody that works in privacy and cybersecurity, I think it was a cyber attack. They're just not telling us what it was. It was a cyber attack. There was some attack that was happening, because I did read the news article where some of their servers went down with the storm. It's either the servers went down because of the storm, or it was a cyber attack. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually a cyber attack. It's usually a cyber attack. Yep. It's usually a cyber attack. So just like some people were saying, oh, that means when you uninstall TikTok, TikTok still gets to follow you. I don't believe that. As someone, again, that comes from privacy and cybersecurity, in order for TikTok to do that, it'd have to be malware. Malware. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I feel like a lot of creators are making that content because it's viral. It's, it's trending content. People are searching on it, and people are playing into the searching of that and saying whatever they got to say to get fucking views. That's what I feel like TikTok most of the time. They figure out what's trending, what's viral, and then they hop on that wagon and they do that. That's how I see it. But this is my opinion on it. Yeah, this is my opinion on it. I don't buy for 1 second when you uninstall TikTok, it's still on your device, and it's reporting. It's not doing all of that. That's malware. That's malware. TikTok isn't doing that. It's not doing that. I need people to stop the fucking cap, because most of the people saying this shit don't even read that stuff. They read a couple of lines of it, get all worked up. Because my thing is this: if they thought that TikTok was malware, this is my question to y'all. How did they put that video up here to tell you about it? Because they still using fucking TikTok. So they're still using the very thing they say is malware. Okay. All right. I told you, that's why I don't be listening to that shit. That's why I don't even listen to it. That's why I don't listen to it. But it does go back to what I told y'all the other day. You cannot be extra dependent on social media platforms. Right. Just like every other social media app, object. That's why I didn't understand people getting so worked up about TikTok and location. Instagram do the same thing. Quiet as kept, Facebook Messenger tracks more of your location and whereabouts than TikTok does. And more people use Facebook Messenger than they use TikTok. Your cell phone shares more about your life and what you're doing and where you're going than any social media platform. People ain't get rid of their cell phones. Stop falling for the okie doke, y'all. Stop it. Stop it. Not Dan Bongino isn't that tall. He isn't. And Christy Nome, being like Christy Nome, she keeps her hat low so you don't see how tethered that skin is and weathered. That's she don't want you to see that skin, honey. She keep that hat pulled all the way down. Or if the hat ain't pulled down, she got all that hair coming forward towards her face and shit. It's like, girl, clear that hair from around your face, from around your neck, and let us see the skin. But she don't want you to. Like, did y'all see that thing about Brandy Glanville? I read an article on it this morning. I got to do some more digging. Did y'all see that stuff on Brandy Glanville, that chick that used to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and how her face was melting? She looks like a completely different person now because she had some procedures. I'm going to do a video on it, Peg. I saw her this morning. Good morning, Karina. Good morning, beautiful. I didn't even know it was Brandy Glanville. That's how different she looks. And Brandy was a pretty woman. She's a pretty woman. I remember her from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She was one of the few women in the face that didn't have all that shit then. She don't even look like herself now. Now you would not be able to pick Brandy Glanville out of a fucking lineup. Now, the article claims, she said her doctors had said she had a face parasite. I've never heard of such a thing. Arbitrarily affecting a woman in Beverly Hills. Sounds like she had some plastic surgery, some procedure that went bad. She got an infection and that face started drooping and malfunctioning, and she got another procedure to fix everything. Now that's why she don't look like herself. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on that. People got to stop fucking with their face. Stop doing it. Stop. It literally looked like she was melting in the face when I saw it this morning. I was like, because for a second I went, Brandy Glanville. I remember a name, Brandy Glanville. That ain't Brandy Glanville. So then I kept going in the article, and it took you all the way down to a picture from back in the day. You would never even realize. No, I haven't seen Vanna. Vanna did something to her face. Damn. Let me go look. I want to see how she looked. I hope she didn't, because Vanna White didn't need it. Nah, she still looked the same to me. Did she do something? At least the pictures that I have showing up. She still looked the same. She's just older. Dr. Dubrow says it wasn't a parasite. I knew it wasn't a parasite. I figured that article was lying, and Brandy was lying too. I figured she got an infection from a procedure. And that's why she had to end up at the experts, Dr. Dubrow and Dr. Nassif. See, I look at it, I watch enough reality TV to say this. I wouldn't get no plastic surgery or procedures if Dr. Nassif or Dr. Dubrow weren't doing it. Thank you so much, TikTok.com, Cat Sam, USA. I wouldn't get it. If it was not Dr. Dubrow or Dr. Nassif, I wouldn't get it. Because those two gonna be honest about what the fuck it is. They're either going to say, listen, don't do nothing to yourself, because we can't guarantee that you're going to look better at the end of this. So if I were you, I wouldn't touch it. But you grown, you could do whatever you want. But I wouldn't touch it. That's what they would tell you the truth. They would tell you the truth. They would say, listen, you might look worse. I want to prepare you that you might look worse. If somebody is willing to tell me I might come out looking worse, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to do shit. I'm not doing no procedure. You can keep it. I'm good on that. I'm not doing no procedure. Because you just told me everything that I needed to hear. I might look worse. So let me not touch it. Let me not touch it, because I might end up looking like a whole fucking problem. Let me leave it alone. And see, people don't realize when you start tweaking a little bit here, a little bit there, all it takes is a smidge of what makes you you for you to look at yourself and go, who is that? Every little thing, every little imperfection is what makes you you. So when you take those little imperfections away, you take away the character of who you are. You take away that thing that makes you unique. Hey, good morning to you, T-Wiz. And that's why you end up looking like you trapped in a wind tunnel. That's why you end up looking like that. That's why all of them look the way they look. They look like they're trapped in a fucking wind tunnel. It's not okay. It's not. Okay? Let that shit go. And quiet is kept. If you've ever stood behind somebody that got a facelift and you see behind their ears, that is the most unsettling shit you'll ever see in your life. Real talk. Once you see behind somebody's ears that's had a fucking facelift, that shit is unfucking settling. You're like, wait a minute. So you let these motherfuckers cut your face and pull it tighter to the rest of your body and then staple it and sew it behind your fucking ears. You're a whole fucking lie. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Don't do it to yourself, y'all. Listen, what you see right here is 100% grade A beef. It's all real. No fillers, no byproducts, no nothing. Whatever happens to this face and this skin is going to happen. Okay? It's just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The people who don't want it to happen are the very people we can look at and know they're aging. Why their face don't move. It's not normal. You see my forehead? You see how my face moves? Because I've had no fillers. I've had no fillers. That's how I'm able to move all this shit on my face. Yep, and you're right, Lola. You have to take care of your skin. I keep reminding people that the skin is the largest organ that you possess. But folks don't want to put no moisturizer on it. That shit should be illegal. Let me show you something. Look, I already had it down here. Oh, I'm going to show it to you. Something I already had down here. Because I'm a big proponent of moisturizing our skin, right? And I already had this down here. Why? Let me see what the temp is. Okay, we got it 65 in here, but it still ain't hot enough in this Mickey flick for me yet. You see this? You see this? This was sitting over on my other table. You see this? It's not even Vaseline brand because it don't have to be. You see that? This shit right here, you combine this with some really good lotion, not that Jergens shit. Go in your bathroom. If you got Jergens in your bathroom, you're ashy. You are denying your skin nutrients and moisture. If you got Suave lotion, Jergens lotion, all that shit is trash. Throw it in the fucking trash. Okay? Throw it in the trash. Because your poor skin is like, y'all remember Nightmare on Elm Street 2, right? And y'all remember the chick. She was dreaming and she was the one with the addiction in her arms. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she had the dream and her pores were like, that's your skin because you don't moisturize consistently. Well, you know why that cashier thought your license was fake, Anthony? Because you moisturize. This shit right here, CeraVe, Nivea, all that shit, and Vaseline. Especially in this cold ass weather. Like you can moisturize and all of that shit, but I'm going to tell you the best moisturizing. I'm going to just tell you as a child of a black parent, of black parents, okay? I'm going to tell you, I never was cold at that bus stop. You know why? Because my mama would take some Vaseline and she would rub it all over my face before I went outside. So that cold would peel right off that Vaseline so I could keep on going to school. You understand? Y'all understand where I'm coming from? Buy Vaseline. It don't even have to be name brand. Look, I'm about to put some on my lips. Buy Vaseline. It don't even have to be name brand. But I'm tired of telling people to fucking moisturize. In 2026, I still have to say to people, you need to moisturize your skin. You need to moisturize. You use Nivea on your hair? Hey, I ain't mad. I use Vaseline on mine. Sure do. You feel like you break out with Vaseline on your face? It's possible. Which brand of Vaseline are you using? See, I don't really have sensitive skin on my face all like that. So I don't break out a lot from things. It has to be something hardcore for me to break out from it. That's why I don't buy the name brand. I buy the cheap stuff. I will buy Vaseline name brand if it's on sale. Oh, you use coconut oil a lot. Yeah, coconut oil is good too. But this shit right here, I put this shit on everything. You know how they talk about Frank's Red Hot? We put that shit on everything. No. This, you put this shit on everything. You put this on you, you ain't gonna be cold. You put this on you, it's gonna keep the moisture in. Like put your lotion on and then put this over top to seal that shit. Especially if you're going outside. Now, this the tea. In the summertime, you don't put this. This is not what you put on. We put on something different in the summer. Because if you put this shit on in the summertime, you're going to be smelling like a pack of bacon in the sun. Why? Because you're going to start roasting. You're going to roast out there in the sun if you put this shit on. So you can't wear this in the summertime like that on your skin. Because you're going to be like, what's that smell? You. The smell is you. You're cooking. See, summertime, I use shea butter. Catch that. I use shea butter with a little bit of vitamin E mixed in it. I saw you about the vitamin E at bedtime. That's a great tip at bedtime. Yep, I wear gloves when I go outside. Yep. And quiet is kept in the wintertime as an extra, I'm going to put it out there because men, you need to do this too. Because y'all be having some crusty ass feet. Okay? This is a public cervix. Look, a public cervix announcement. That's how I like to say mine. For the people who don't believe in grammar. This is a public cervix announcement. Okay? All right? After your shower, you need to put on, no, it's a PCA, Dakota. I do it on purpose like that. A public cervix announcement, you know, because the people who don't know grammar really well, they won't catch it. Right? After your shower, you get out, you dry yourself off. You put on some good lotion, like some CeraVe or some Nivea, but the thick shit. You understand that thick stuff, right? Thank you, Frenchie. The thick shit, right? So then you put that on, and then you put some Vaseline on, or you put that on your feet, some of that CeraVe or that thick ass Nivea, the cream Nivea though, not the lotion Nivea, because it's wintertime. Right? So you put that on your foots and then you put some Vaseline on top of that and you get all between your toes, all on the tips in the front of your toes. You need to put it everywhere, all in them cracks and crevices. Okay? Okay? Then you put you on some nice, good socks. Okay? So you won't be cutting sheets all fucking winter long. All right? Moisturize. I can't go without saying that. Moisturize. You're welcome. Because if I see y'all out here with these ashy ass heels and toes in the stores, I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm going to feel something like, for example, you see this? Look, I'm going to expose myself this morning. Look at that. Look at some of that ash. Because I've been washing my hands and I didn't put, so look, I'm going to show you an example. See, I'm paying it forward. I want to help America not be ashy again. Everybody want to make America great again, but ain't nobody talking about putting on fucking lotion, right? And you got to go in between them fingertips, okay? I'm like, make America moist again. Well, maybe not that, because that probably ain't the right way to say it. Make America moist again. Ew, I don't like that. But make America hydrated again or something like that. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than people talking a lot of shit online and being ashy. It's like, come on. You see how fast I was able to do this? Look at that. Look. I'm showing you my hands. Something Kris Jenner would never do. Kris Jenner would never show you a close-up of her hands. See? That's from moisturizing. I'm 51, but I moisturize. Now, I didn't put moisture on this whole ashy ass hand like I should have. But see, that's from moisturizing. You see that? You see that? See? That's moisturization. Lenny says Vicks Vapor Rub on the feet with socks will take care of ashiness and cold symptoms. Thank you. I've never tried that. I'm going to have to try that. Yeah, moist does sound like a cake mix. So that's why I pulled back on that. I don't like that Make America Moist Again shit. I don't like that. Because quiet as kept, it's a whole bunch of Americans I don't want to be moist in any possible way. So now I'm good on that. But I want to say, if in your bathroom you have Jergens or Suave lotion, I want you to get up right now and pick that shit up and throw it in the trash. That's trash ass lotion. Because you just putting water on your skin. You ain't moisturizing. You ain't moisturizing. You ain't moisturizing. Not at all. You are literally just putting water on your skin. Oh, sorry, Hallie. Yeah. Make America moisturize again. That's it. Make America moisturize again. Because what happened to us? I know me personally, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I love about the summer so much. Moisturizing. I love to moisturize. And it is nothing like seeing a black woman that's super moisturized. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A black woman that's super moisturized. And you could tell she is just moisture on top of moisture on top of moisture. And you're like, ooh, look at that luscious skin. So moisturized. I am telling you. Put some lotion on. Put some Vaseline on. And for your hands, I'm going to give you a tip about hands and feet too. On top of the tip I already gave you. There's a product called Working Hands. That shit really, really works. Working Hands. That shit really works. That's a nice, good product to use on your hands, especially if you work with your hands a lot. It helps to keep lock moisture in even more. And Working Feet. That works too. It also helps to lock in moisture even more. It's expensive and it comes in a little tiny container because you don't need much of it, but it works. Oh, dark-skinned women are gorgeous, especially in the summertime. Especially in the summertime. Honey. See, I like to tan, but I don't like to tan. If you get where I'm coming from, what I use on my body, I am not lying. I use Vaseline. I use Nivea cream or creme, however they say it in the heavy blue glass container. That's the one that you want to use. The heavy blue glass container. Another thing you can use that I've used many a winter that's helpful, because I also use it in the summer, but it's also helpful in the winter. Whipped shea butter or pure uncut shea butter with vitamin E. Can I figure out how the MAGA can keep their teeth? Only thing that's going to keep their teeth is brushing and flossing, and brushing and flossing is wokeness. That's why that's why a lot of MAGA have bad teeth. It's woke to brush and floss. I use shea butter more so than cocoa butter. Yeah, I don't use Vaseline in the summer because Vaseline will have you cooking like bacon. But you can use shea butter in the summertime. And I see you said you use Nivea lotion on my hair. I don't put it in my hair, but I will put Vaseline in my hair. Do I run a quality learning center? No, I do not. And stay away from Mountain Dew. Yes, and I saw Mountain Dew Code Red the other day in the store, and I just shook my head and went, Don't. I like Mountain Dew, but not Code Red. Original only. Original. Yeah, y'all haven't had a laugh track in a minute because I haven't hooked it to my phone. That's why. You said learning center, not learning, spell it the Somali way. Oh, learning center. Oh, Daniel, is that? Oh, but the Somalis in the Somali center, Daniel, those children can actually read. Unlike a lot of the poor white children in the mountains who can't read, don't have running water or an inside bathroom. I always have to give them a second to catch on. He's looking through the handbook. I said Somali daycare. She's supposed to crash out. Let me go to the appendix. He thought he was cooking with that shit. He was cooking, y'all. I'm gonna make the liberal crash out with the Somali daycare reference. Like I give a fuck. I don't have any kids in daycare. I don't live in Minnesota. And I'm not Somali. Okay. These people get so upset. Now, I saw somebody say earlier they stand with ICE. And I agree with him. Look at this shit. I thought this shit was hilarious. You see it? He says, they said Randy Fine says he stands with ICE. Now, I know y'all see how thick he is. When I say thick, oh, he built like peanut butter in the wintertime. You heard me. Somebody said better not on thin ice. Listen. Listen, Linda. When I saw it, I said, I know he's not talking about standing with ice. And you thicker than peanut butter in the winter. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. I don't know about y'all, but I want my men's with a smaller stomach than I have. I don't want your stomach being bigger than mine. But I bet you, he said, I bet you a man like this would say, all my women can't be more than 95 pounds. What you trying to do? Smother her? That's why y'all ever seen that lady here on TikTok? The white lady, her name's Chantal. She's from Canada. Have y'all ever seen her? She's like the relationship lady. And she talks about body count don't matter. That lady is doing the Lord's work. I love that lady. She, to me, she's great at trolling the troller. I thought I was good. No, that bitch, and I use bitch as a term of endearment. I just want to say, I love her show. I love her TikTok live. If you ever see that lady's TikTok live, go into her TikTok live. You're going to laugh your ass off and have a great time at the men sitting up there talking about, you seen her too, Call Me Jitter? I love her lives. Her lives are some good shit. They're always in sales wanting to join the panel. They're upset because she's saying her name is Chantal. Chantal. That's her name. Chantal. And she's from Canada. She writes books about relationships, right? And so she talks about how body count don't matter. The men come on there and crash the fuck out, bruh. And she always brings them back to center, always. Like she makes them agree to the rules up front before they even do the debate. And as soon as they step outside the guidelines, she's reminding them that they agreed to the guidelines. And then if they keep talking, gone, denied, it's some good shit. She's on TikTok. She's really good. I like her. She is really good. I'm telling you, yesterday I was on TikTok and I was scrolling and I ran into her live again. And I stayed in there for about half hour, 45 minutes, laughing my ass off. Chantal, or however she says it, Chantal, she the business. Watch her live. You will enjoy that live. It's very entertaining. So I like it. I like it. Then I wanted to put this up because I wanted to remind y'all, don't forget, when it's time, when Chuck Schumer runs again, Chuck need to go. Because Chuck is never, ever, 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 ever going to do anything more but toe the line. Ever. No, it's Cantal. That's how she spells it. Cantal. Chantal. Chantal. I guess that's how she would say it. Yeah. Cantal. I'm black. No E's. No E in it at all. That's how you would spell it. And you'll find her. If you just search for Chantal, you'll find her, and she's from Canada. Yep, that's it right there. I'm black. But yeah, Chuck gotta go. But I've been saying Chuck Schumer had to go. Chuck Schumer is a go along, get along kind of guy. He's not training up anybody else in the Senate to take over the spot. Because he's trying to stay there until he's 90-something years old. No, sir. You gots to go, Chuck. You're not tough enough to stop Trump. And Chuck is going to go along to get along. Enough's enough of that. Enough is enough of that. So that's why, in my opinion, Chuck Schumer has got to go. As long as Chuck Schumer is allowed to stay in the Senate, Democrats are going to be limited about what they can really accomplish. Now, y'all know this morning, Trump is having a 2-hour meeting with Kristi Noem this morning. What do y'all think gonna happen? I don't like Hakeem Jeffries. He's soft too. I said what I said. Hakeem Jeffries is soft. He's no Nancy Pelosi. He's soft. He's soft, in my opinion. Yep. Those 7 Dems who voted to keep funding ICE, they got to go too. They got to go too. Just like I told y'all, and look, I'm going to show y'all the 7 people real quick. I'm going to show you because I had this since the other day. We just never got around to it. These are the Democrats that voted to keep funding ICE with their bullshit. They got to go too. They got to go too. Not a 5-minute meeting with 55 minutes of sleeping. Oh, Trump gonna fall asleep in that fucking meeting. Best believe that. Best believe that. You think he about to stay awake? Ain't happening. Ain't happening. And then later on, old Caroline Levitt gonna come out. And she gonna say what she got to say. Right? She gonna spew her bullshit. Just cause. I'm telling y'all, the next White House press secretary for a liberal needs to be Tia Kemp. That's the only way you're going to match this fucking energy. I'm glad she got pregnant so she could leave. Catch it. Because she wasn't brave enough to tell Trump she ain't want to keep doing that job. But why is she leaving? Because she got pregnant. She shouldn't leave. That's the funny part. That's the funny part. She going home to sit on her ass like she was doing before this happened. But I am yes, Tia Kemp should be the next White House press secretary. Hands down for sure. She should. Imagine Tia Kemp being a White House press secretary. She ain't about to let nobody come in there with no fucking foolishness. She ain't about to let nobody come in there with no foolishness. Not even a little bit. Tia Kemp would set the ground rules really early on in every White House press conference briefing. She'd be like, all right, little bitches, I'm going to set the move real quick. I'm going to let you ask whatever questions y'all want to fucking ask of the administration. But I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like anybody in here trying to be purposely disrespectful, call yourself trying to check us, or they're going to be consequences and repercussions, bitches. I'm serious. Nation of Islam should now become Secret Service. Make your country crash all the way the fuck out. Clean out the Secret Service and make them all Nation of Islam. He said the Minnesota orders ICE chief to appear in court to explain why detainees have been denied. They're not going to come. Y'all got to understand, the White House is also ignoring the courts. They ain't paying attention to that shit. Y'all didn't see the report that they said yesterday? If the judges in Minnesota put constraints on what the administration is doing in Minnesota, they're going to look at that as judicial overreach. And they don't like judicial overreach. That's what they said. Yeah, Schumer and Jeffries got to go. We need more hardcore folks. So apparently Kristi Noem, she met with Donald Trump for 2 hours. And apparently she requested to meet with Donald Trump. They met last night. Corey Lewandowski was there as well. Susie Wiles was there as well. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was there. Propaganda Barbie, she was there too. And the communications director, Stephen Chiang, I guess that's how you say his name. I'm looking to see. They said the president questioned Kristi Noem over how she handled the Pew Pew event and her immediate response. I'm telling you, Kristi fucked up when she came out and called that guy a domestic terrorist. She fucked up with that. She fucked up. She went too far trying to play into the propaganda. And she's not a man. See, she got too fucking comfortable. That's the other part. See, bitches got to learn to play a position. Yeah, I said it like that. I'm going to say it again. Because that's how they say it. That's how conservative men saying that shit behind her back. Bitches got to learn to play their position. You don't get to come out and act like a whole man. They don't take kindly to that shit. Kristi trying too hard. She trying too hard. Real shit. She trying too hard. And I wanted to say Propaganda Barbie, she comes with a filler kit. And she got a lot of little red dots all around her lips. No problem, I'm black. And don't forget to check out Chantal. You'll like listening to her. Yep. Kristi Noem went too far, because I even said it yesterday when I was watching the news. I said, this is unnecessary. Trump already gets bad press. But this press, because of Kristi Noem, is unnecessary. It's another unnecessary layer of bad press that doesn't even have to happen. But because Kristi Noem is so pressed to pretend to look tough, she's so pressed to show that she running shit, she fucked up. She went too far. She went too far. She went too far. So now Kristi is fucked. So they said that she was told to prioritize security operations along the southern border. So now she's been moved down towards the southern border, right? They told her to move her attention away from the interior immigration enforcement efforts to moving it along the border. Then they say the border czar, Tom Homan, has been deployed to Minneapolis, noting that people will deport directly to him and no longer to Noem. So they've moved her to the border. Why? Because she gave them bad press. That's the only reason why. Because she gave bad press. That they could not see. This is the problem. Trump don't mind bad press because he can usually flip it into something that works for him. But you can't flip into unaliving American citizens with no due process and make it work for Trump. Right? You can't go with the argument. You can't bring a pew-pew to a protest. Want me to tell you why that shit don't work? I'm going to tell you Trump lost another ally. I'm going to show y'all something that I saw this morning that said, oh shit, this is not good. Who is that down there? Who is that down there? I'm going to just put this all the way here so y'all can see it. At the bottom, Cal Rittenhouse says, carry everywhere. It is your right. Oh, because see that argument that you're not supposed to have nothing. That argument that you're not supposed to have nothing. That don't fly. Think about it. All this time, Republicans have been telling people they got a right to bear arms. Remember, Kyle Rittenhouse showed up at a protest with a pew-pew. Remember that couple in Florida who showed up at a protest with pew-pews? So conservatives need to be careful, because when they run around saying shit like that, you're not always in charge, bitch. You're not always in charge. So then, now you can't carry. Remember how Republicans always told you that government was going to come and take your pew-pews? They just never told you it would be conservatives that would be in charge of the government when it happened. Boom. Boom. They're starting to lose a lot of the people that would buy into the shit. That's why. Because it's starting to creep over into their place. See, it's no way to take somebody else's rights without taking yours too. It's no way. And I kept wondering when conservatives were going to wake up, because it won't be long before conservatives are going to lose their 2A rights. Yeah. Because they're going to lose theirs too. Because it doesn't come down to just being a registered Democrat or a registered Republican. You know what it comes down to? Do you tow water for government or do you not? And if you don't, then you don't have access. Yep, you're right, Anthony. They said Kamala was going to do it. I love how everything they said Kamala would do to them is being done by their own party. That's the best part of all this shit. In my opinion, the best part of what's happening to conservative party is everything that they said the other party would do to people is being done by their own party. By their own party. James, you don't know who Kamala is because you're in India, beloved. You've been blocked. See how fast that was? Y'all, I don't waste my time talking to them. James got blocked. James could have stayed here if he was quiet. James could have stayed here if he was quiet, but James didn't want to be quiet. James got on here running his mouth on this live. Unacceptable practice, James. You can't do that. Gotta go. Okay, so Nome's close alignment with the border control. Okay, here's some other information that I didn't know. Commander Greg Bovino has been disrupted because now he has also been ordered to leave Minnesota. So Bovino and Kristi Noem are kind of getting pushed out of this immigration shit. Kristi Noem is being pushed towards the border. Now, remember, I appreciate you too. Now, remember, right? Remember Trump said, and Republicans claim that Joe Biden, all these people were rushing to the border and Joe Biden had them at the border. Remember that shit, right? All this time, why weren't they at the border anyway? If that shit that they said was true, because it was never true, but it was also about invading liberal cities because they thought it would be a win. They thought they could make it a win invading liberal cities. But they forgot conservatives live in them cities too. Now, according to reports, they said Human and acting director Todd Lyons, they disagree with Noem's strategy. So what did I tell y'all? The men got her ass pushed out. What did I say? I said it was a good old boys club and they just let her in for optics. But I told y'all Kristi Noem is not going to last. Countdown to Kristi Noem gets fired for good. Watch. 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 She's going to get pushed out for good. If they're pushing her ass down there to the border, oh, she getting pushed out for good. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Today, mainstream media are going to try to sell you on. I'm going to tell you because I already watched it this morning. Mainstream media is going to try to sell you on, oh, Republicans in the Senate and the House are starting to create pressure. And that's why. No, they're not creating pressure. What it is it just doesn't look good. And now they have their constituents saying, hey, is it okay for government to unalive citizens? That's what's happening. They don't agree. They don't feel uncomfortable with it. They feel uncomfortable that people from their districts are on their ass about it. That's where they feel. That's why I told y'all, stay calling, stay emailing, stay texting. Don't let up off of these people. Because if you let up off of them, then they don't have no incentive to do anything any different. I'm just letting y'all know. They don't have an incentive to do nothing any different. And I say that because, hold on, I'm checking something. Because at first, the house was going to be open today, right? But then today it's closed again. But the reason why I'm telling y'all this is for a very specific reason. I caught something yesterday when I went on house.gov because they was thinking about, reopening today, right? And so I had been, hold on, let me find the thing I'm looking for, because then I will tell y'all. So I thought that, I was thinking that, I had seen something yesterday when I was researching on house.gov, and it made me go, I know these people, these are not good people, and they never do anything for us. You know how I always tell y'all that? So I saw it on there. Hold on for a second. I'm trying to get back to it. I saw it on there. Okay. So, right. Okay. So they have a bill called, let me go back to the page, because they're having a hearing tomorrow. And this hearing is about combating the lies of authoritarians in School Systems Act. I'm going to say it again. Combating the lies of authoritarians in School Systems Act. And on the surface, you would see that and you would go, okay, what's going on here? Now, listen to what it's talking about. Now, when I look at the front page of the bill, it says to prohibit elementary and secondary schools from accepting funds from or entering into contracts with the government of the People's Republic of China and the Chinese Communist Party, and for other purposes. That's where you got to pay attention, right? That's where you got to pay attention. So keep in mind, the schools are paid for with taxpayer money, right? So the bill is now saying that public and middle schools that get taxpayer money must tell the U.S. government if they get money or big contracts from a foreign government or group, especially ones connected to China or the Chinese Communist Party. If they get more than a certain amount of money, $10,000 total from those foreign sources, they have to report the details to the Department of Education. Okay? So think of it like this. You got a school lunchbox, right? And imagine someone from another country gives your school lunch money or a deal to help them. Now, keep in mind, your country is already cutting funding for your schools. They already cutting shit. Keep in mind, right? But this bill says, well, if somebody else tries to give your schools money, your schools got to tell the big government who gave you what and how much. Now, they say it's to make sure that schools are transparent about money from other countries. But my issue is it only mentions the Chinese. It don't mention the Russians. It don't mention Israel, Turkey, Saudi Arabia. You get my point. You get my point. They keep mentioning the Chinese And I don't know if some of y'all saw my video this morning, but the Chinese are sick of that racism shit, so much so they're not buying from us. They're not buying from us. Oh, Eduardo, they use a lot of our money. But the Chinese aren't buying from us. But they claim that this bill is supposed to reduce influence from foreign governments that U.S. officials think might push ideas into schools. Like what? Like you're not free? What did I tell y'all a long time ago? Didn't I tell you your government will do anything to keep you indoctrinated? Anything. Anything. And if you stand a chance of getting the veil pulled up so you can really see what your country is about, government gonna swoop right in. We can't have them know that. See, they don't mind the government influencing what your kids learn. They just don't want no other government to influence what your kids learn. Because then your kids might start questioning everything that you learned, which might cause you to question everything that you learned. Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know, because I told you I caught that. They were going to have that hearing today, but with the bad weather, that got delayed. That's not happening today. They're having another hearing tomorrow. All of these hearings are going to happen instead tomorrow at 4:00. Okay? Another hearing they're going to have is Protect Our Kids hearing. And what did I say? If you know these people, you know they ain't trying to protect our kids. They're trying to keep your kids indoctrinated. It's okay, Mom. I saw it. I just sent you the voicemail. I got started late because we've been having a lot of power outages over here, girl. It ain't totally stayed out, but that sucker surging, sis. It's surging, honey. So I'm going to tell y'all what the Protect Our Kids Act is. It's okay, Mom. You fine. I'm going to tell y'all what the Protect Our Kids Act is, because they're not trying to protect your kids. So the title of it is Promoting Responsible Oversight to Eliminate Communist Teachings for Our Kids Act. They doing this instead of making sure you have health care. I didn't get no calls from you on Sunday. If you try calling, I didn't get nothing on Monday either. But just so y'all know, they're trying to, they call it the Protect Act, meaning they're trying to keep your kids from learning what they call communism. This hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. All of these hearings I'm telling y'all about are scheduled at the same time for tomorrow. And they're all lumped up under something together. Okay? I'm just letting y'all know what's happening. They want to indoctrinate your babies like they've been indoctrinating them. They want to teach that the Pilgrims were friends with Native Americans. Y'all better pay attention. Now, this other bill, says that public elementary and high schools cannot receive federal money. Is another thing to say you can't receive money or any help from the government of China. That includes any partnerships or programs paid for by organizations tied to the Chinese government. It's the same thing. And they say it's designed to stop influence in U.S. public schools. But if the government cut funding for your schools, and they're not going to let you get the money from certain places, they saying to you, fuck your kids. Because they don't care. Rich people don't send their kids to public school. Their kids go to private school. You're welcome, devil healer. They go to private school. They don't care. You're right. But in China, they living in year 2060. We living in 1952. This is all about the government controlling who gets the help. Because you know what they figured out? I'm going to tell you what it is. They done cut funding for public schools, but they knew that liberals, yeah, I'm on YouTube. You just click the link in my profile and it'll take you to my website, and that gives you all the places where I'm located. I'm going to tell you why Republicans are doing this. I told y'all Trump ain't doing this alone. I told you that Republicans of Congress are helping. They see everything that's happening. They agree with the shit, but they're doing other shit. You know what it's designed to do? Because if the government already cut all your funding for your public schools, they want to make it so that your local districts can't go to get that funding from certain, because they know the Chinese is they salivating to put money in places that American took it away from. They salivating. And they know this. But they also don't want you to get the truth because they don't want your kids to have the truth. Y'all better contact your elected officials about voting no against all of this shit, because this is about indoctrinating your kids with the shit America wants them indoctrinated with. Then they have another bill, Transparency and Reporting Adversarial Contributions to Education Act. Again, it's all designed to keep the Chinese out, because the Chinese are public enemy number one, as if your government ain't the biggest enemy you have right now. But okay, all right, okay. Hold up, y'all. I got something else I done found too. Something else that they're trying to lock into that hearing that has nothing to do with education. But if they put it in there, most of y'all will never know that it happens. If I have any small business owners in here, you need to listen, because they fucking with the Small Business Administration too. They're doing it all a part of this hearing because it can get buried in there and y'all won't notice that it's happening. Right? I told y'all, small businesses, they don't want you to exist either. Rich people want that shit too. Okay? They want your business too, beloved. You're not special. Okay? So they got another bill, HR 2965. It's called the Small Business Regulatory Reduction Act of 2025. Right? It says that the government, so the government office, the SBA, that focuses on stuff for small businesses, they have to make sure that the cost of rules it makes for small businesses don't cost any money. I'm going to say it again. So any new rules that they come up with can't cost no money for you. So they're saying now, if a rule would cost small businesses money, the SBA has to make sure the cost is zero, that it doesn't make them spend more. It also says the SBA should tell Congress about how much other government rules cost small businesses each year. Now, people say that small businesses are burdened with too many costly rules. But see, y'all got to pay attention. This isn't to help you, because there's another bill on the docket that they're also going to talk about at 4:00. Guess what it's called? It's called Dump the Red Tape. See, remember when Republicans tell you they don't like regulations, right? Regulations aren't designed to help you. Even the small business owner. They're designed to help the big boys. Ultimately, it's not about you. Okay? So they have another bill, HR 4305, to direct the Chief Counsel for Advocacy of the Small Business Administration to establish a red tape hotline to receive notifications of burdensome agency rules. and for other purposes. So in short, Big Brother is going to create another snitching ass line for people to call in and complain about rules they don't like when it's really going to be big businesses. Because see, regulations and not having things for small businesses, it allows big businesses to I'm telling you, they're going to benefit over the shit before you do. So your government has money to create hotlines for people to call in and snitch, but it ain't got money so people can have food stamps. Catch that part. Right. Big Brother wants you to snitch on everybody. 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 A hotline is Big Brother to all be damned. But keep in mind, this hearing is tomorrow at 4 o'clock when they're talking about education stuff. So if you didn't have no kids in school, you probably wouldn't even care. But if you owned a small business, it's going to get fucked up. But they want the government to create a hotline where small business owners can report that the rules costing them too much money. Again, Republicans have figured out, they say rules are a problem. They see rules as a problem. Rules slow them down. Who else sound like that? That sound like Trump, right? Exactly, Christoph. Big businesses are going to swallow up those small businesses. Y'all watch. This is about them getting your business, baby. Know what they're going to do? They're going to buy up your business and then hire you as an employee to work in the company that you started. They sure do want a government with no oversight for rich people. Y'all not paying attention. Oh, they watching you through your cell phone and your smart TV and this, but they don't watch the people with money. See, you're supposed to be able to be free to make all the money you want. Yep, rules for thee, not for me. That's what y'all are watching. And Donald Trump told you, I'm going to run this country like a business. And I kept saying, you don't want your government run like a business. I told people this, but they wasn't listening. They thought I was over exaggerating. You doing too much. Trump has never run a successful business. That's the last motherfucker you want to say, I'm going to run the country like a business. He's never run a successful business. And now he's running your country into the ground. Now he's running your country into the ground. And rich people are going to monetize on every fraction of your life, and you're going to have to try to find out how to keep your head above fucking water. Now, this last bill, look, I told y'all they're trying to lump everything in on this hearing. It's called the SCORE Act, right? SCORE stands for Student Compensation and Opportunity Through Rights and Endorsements Act. This bill is about college athletes and how they can make money and be supported while they play sports. Listen, y'all, they say that college students would be able to earn money for their name, image, and likeness. Okay? Colleges that make a lot of money from sports must offer counseling and medical benefits to athletes. If a school earns more than $20 million a year off of sports, they have to offer counseling and medical benefits. Those colleges also have to keep at least 16 varsity sports teams. Remember, all of this is money going into the schools. All of this is about money. This ain't about helping these kids. They don't give a fuck about these kids, okay? And quiet as kept, most of these kids already have health care through their parents' insurance. Okay. The bill also lets the athletic associations set rules about things like eligibility, transfers, recruitment, and name, image, and likeness disclosures. Basically, rules for how these athletes in sports operate. So they letting the fox set the rules about the hen house. Okay? So they say, if the bill says if someone wants to pay you because you're good, like in ads or deals, you should get to keep that money. But if the school makes a lot of money from sports, they have to take care of you. They have to give you counseling and medical care. And they have to keep lots of different sports teams open, not just the big ones. That means that big name college athletes will get more rights, better support for athletes, they say, more stable sports programs, so they say. And then the rules are set by groups like the NCAA. I still say there's something here because it could give a lot more power to the big athletic associations because they're the ones that get to make the rules with no oversight. Yep, on the surface it sounds good, but you know anything too good to be true probably is. Call your congressman. Call your congressman. Because my question is, why are they trying to do all this shit at the same time? Now, before we wrap up, y'all, I want to show y'all something. Let me go get it. Because I told y'all I would show y'all this before we wrap up this morning. Uh-oh, I got to get my fireplace in order too, because it's starting to, the tip is starting to drop, and I'm not liking that. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming back with a knife, and something, because I want y'all to see something that I, So remember yesterday, Rusty ain't got nothing to do with you. You might well put your little head down. Y'all, if he gonna put his head up like this for me, no, it's not. So y'all remember yesterday when I told y'all when we did on live where I made these. Let me take old Caroline Levitt's ass down. Propaganda Barbie and shit. So remember we made these yesterday on live, right? Remember I was cooking these while we were talking. Oh, let me fix my light because my light is way too bright. Okay. Remember we made these when we were talking yesterday? So these were the chocolate chip walnut sandwiches that I made with the icing in the middle. Y'all, I ate one of these last night, honey. I ate one of these last night, y'all. Slept like a baby. You heard me, because it's also infused, right? But I wanted to show y'all. Hold on. And I can put this cookie recipe in Patreon today if y'all want it. And anybody can gain access to it. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that cookie. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, they are so good, Kim. Now, watch. Right, you see this? Uh-oh. Now, hold on. I was trying to cut it. Let's go down here. I had it out this morning. Now, I'm going to tell you something I noticed with this, because I got to make these again. I still cook this cookie for too long, because this cookie is still not as chewy as the oatmeal cookie. Kim, this is bomb. No, it's not ice cream in the middle. In the middle is like a heavy whipping cream, some marshmallow cream, some powdered sugar, and vanilla. Y'all, this is another one. Make this cookie. Okay? Listen. Rusty over here like, Mm-mm. Y'all, make this cookie. Okay? Some of you already been making the Big Deborahs. Yes, it's infused, Marky. It is. That's why I'm not going to bite no more of this. Because after this live, I have to tape my podcast. And I'm going to be in that thing like, y'all going to be listening like, and I'm just going to be like, oh, Piano Man. And then you're going to know why. Because I ate this. These were good. I ate one of these last night about, was it 9 o'clock? Shit, I was in bed by 9:45. I was feeling it before then, though. But I was in bed by 9:45. My ass was out like a light. Good night. So, we got another one. Now, I got to figure out what we're going to make on Saturday for our baking. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I ate a whole one, Mark. I ate a whole one. Because they're not that big. They're not as big as the oatmeal cream pie. The oatmeal, sandwiches. They're not as big as Big Deborah's. So I was like, I think one. No, I think half is more than enough. If you eat a whole one, you ain't waking up until the next day. And that's what happened yesterday. I thought that it was just time to go to bed. I put my foot in it. These taste delicious. Look at that cream. Look, Rusty just steady looking like he over here like this. Bitch, you showing them that cookie. But if you put that plate in my face. Look, I'm about to do a reference. I'm going to see if any of y'all know this reference. You better get them nuts out of my face. Now, I don't know if y'all know that reference. Those who know. That's all I'll say to that. Those who know that reference know that reference. But I toasted some walnuts and diced them up real fine and put them into, Miss Latrice Royale. Look, we know our TV, okay? You better get them nuts out of my face. So I chopped up some walnuts real fine and put it in the dough. So it's walnuts in the cookie. Now, I'm going to make these again. And when I make them again, I'm going to make the cookie more chewy. I'm going to make the filling on the inside even more stiff. And I'm going to roll the outside of the cookie in melted chocolate and then roll that outside on top, then roll it again in chopped up walnuts. I already know that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to take this cookie. Yeah, this cookie was from scratch. I made this from scratch. Cookie dough from scratch. It don't even take long to make. This was an easy cookie to make. Okay, and it's infused. Yep. But you can get up all you want to. You not getting none. Rusty gonna get up like you done said that word too many damn times. You can get up all. Listen, Shane, I've been spreading, honey. Listen, my pants, my fupa is out of control right about now, but it's okay. But Kim, you can make these, Kim, without the sugar. That's the thing. Make them without the sugar. They'll still be good. And matter of fact, Kim, because you said you're diabetic, that's a challenge for me. It's time for me to find something else to make that's not sweet. I think I know what it is, Kim. See, I got some Hawaiian bread in here that I made the other day, and I'm about to turn that Hawaiian bread into, garlic cheese bread. Y'all seen me do that before. You could always have some can of butter, right? Think about this. You could have can of butter that you add roasted garlic to, and then you can mix it all up. And then you spread that can of butter with the garlic in it, and then you put some mozzarella on top, and you toast that bread. Now you got you some infused garlic bread. Ain't no sugar there. Just something to think about. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this because, see, everybody can't eat the sweet treats. You say, what about? Plus, I told y'all I made chicken Alfredo the other night. That was also infused. And that shit delicious. Semi-sweet chocolate chips, the mini kind, is what I put in this one. So, listen, you can infuse anything. My thought process is it got to taste good, though. What I'm using to infuse, some FICO tincture, sometimes can of sugar, sometimes can of butter, sometimes all of them. It just really depends on nudes in bio. Girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here, because you ain't got no hips and ass. Don't nobody want to see that. Nobody straight up and down. Girl, bye. She come in my live all the time trying to get somebody to go to that. If you want somebody to want to check something out, you need to change that fucking avatar. Because you got no hips. You know how Shakira say the hips don't lie? You have to have hips for them not to lie. Yeah, you got no hips, no ass at all. Fuck out of here. I made a recipe I found for pretzels, but I'm positive the person who made it didn't have taste buds. You'll find that a lot, Anthony. I'm trying to find a new pretzel recipe because the pretzels that we made recently, they didn't taste like Auntie Anne's. So I said, that ain't it. I got to keep playing with it. I got to keep fandangling with it. But I'll figure it out, just like I figured out these. You'll figure it out. But thank y'all for being here this morning. Listen, this morning, like I told y'all, we're not going to have an uncensored live on Patreon because we've been having rolling power outages this morning. And I'm glad that I was able to get through this without that sucker cutting off on me, because then this live would have ended. I will be back this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Listen, thank you so much, Shane. I love you guys. Thank y'all we got 81,000 likes today. We got over 100 shares. I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to let me change this lighting. I want y'all to have a beautiful and blessed day, okay? On purpose. Be safe. It's still icy out there. It's still crazy out there. So be safe. I haven't been out in a couple days because I'm not busting my ass on that shit. So I'm just going to sit my little happy ass right up in here, okay? Have a beautiful day, everybody. Don't forget to check out the newest episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast, because that will be popping tomorrow. I just want to let y'all know that the episode that is this week, you know how people have been talking about This Is Not America, right? Well, this week's episode is about This Is America, and we're doing a whole reflection on the America that you grew up on, the America that you were taught and learned about was all a lie. And you understanding what that means for you. Y'all gonna love this week's episode. I know it, okay? So be ready for it, Patreon members. Rusty, what are you eating? He's so pressed. He saw me with this cookie. He tried to eat some paper. You're not getting this cookie, sir. This is mine. The nerve. Anyway, chill. He do the mostest. I look over, he trying to chew on a piece of paper. He do the mostest. I told you a garbage disposal. I told y'all. But listen to that newest episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast. I think we got to start having these conversations, and we haven't had them. Rusty need to go have a Coke and a smile, Shane. That's what he need to do. He need to go have a Coke and a smile. Okay? That's what he needs to do. Okay? That man ain't stressed. That man greedy. He keeps shooting an eye over at it. I keep trying to have to hide it behind the laptop. Greedy ass. He's so greedy. But listen, y'all have a beautiful and blessed day. I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters before I wrap up, because I try to do this every live. Number 1, Handsome Marky. Thank you so much, Handsome. Number 2, Miss Beautiful Kim. Thank you, beautiful. Number 3, Handsome Kiera. Thank you so much, Handsome. And I hope class is still going well for you. Number 4, beautiful Abby. Thank you so much, Abby. Number 5, Miss Beautiful Hallie. Thank you so much, Hallie. And a special shout out to Miss Beautiful Shane J all day. Thank you so much for joining this morning. I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful day today on purpose, okay? Don't let nobody live rent free in your head. Don't feed no trolls. And he had the nerve to just fart, y'all. Jesus. And don't let nobody live rent free in your head. Don't feed the trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. I love you guys. Peace. And I'll see you this afternoon. Have a beautiful day.